All right. Hey guys. How's it going? It's Joy and I'm back. Yet again, it is a Sunday. So I did just want to say, first of all, to those of you that do celebrate the holiday time, I totally forgot it was Easter. So happy Easter to my subscribers, those watching that celebrate Easter. Yeah, let folks know that I'm live real quick, you guys. Hold on. Let me go on my YouTube channel to give everybody enough time to come in a room for those who do come in. I hope that you guys are having a good day and enjoying time with family and friends. Some of you guys may watch this after it's recorded, but nonetheless, I'm here, you guys. I'm just going to post that I'm live. Hey guys, I'm live. Happy Easter. Tune in. Discussing Narcs. All right. Yeah. Happy Easter, everybody. Hi, A. Cole. Hey. How are you? So, like, I know this is like random, but I remember like when I was a kid and I guess, quote unquote, used to celebrate Easter. And I remember I used to get dressed up. Like my dad would dress me up and we did the little Easter egg hunt. That was like so fun. I miss those days. Give this video a like, you guys. Welcome. Come on in the room. Pile on in, you guys. Where are you guys from? Where's everyone from in the room? And happy Easter, A. Cole. And so thank y'all for that like. I appreciate it. So as you guys can see by the title, we're going to be talking about dating and relationships, narcissists, and we're going to be talking about parents who are bullies and as well as dealing with loneliness, right? So let me go ahead and get the questions that I got asked. I'm going to get those out the way and then we'll go forward. But chime in, you guys, on any of the topics I discuss, and you guys can let me know what you think. But so the first question is basically, and shout out to Gary because he does actually ask me questions often. So if he's watching, shout out to him. But anyway, so the question is, when discovering basically the narcissist new person, so it could be like a new supply, the new victim, and sometimes we could have a lot of hate and anger towards this person, because it's like we did a lot for the narcissist, and now we could see the narcissist show off this new person to us and to the world, and making it seem like, oh yeah, this is the most amazing person that I've ever met. This person is way better than us, right? They're making it a point to throw it in our face, to flaunt it, to show this person off, and we could have a lot of hate and anger towards this new person. And it's totally justifiable and it makes a lot of sense, but you do want to make sure that you understand that the narcissist is doing this on purpose. They want you to feel anger and hate. They want you to react. They want to get your emotions riled up. They want you to act out, and they want you to contact them and do something, right? So just try to be mindful. Don't do anything that you will regret. Remember that, right? But you might want to stay away from this narcissist. Stay away from this person and stay away from the new supply too, right? Don't get too much into your emotions where you do something that you might regret, right? But yeah, the anger is justifiable. But you do want to understand that it's done purposely for you to see. But it's also done for that new supply too, to make them believe that the narcissist is in love with them, right? The narcissist is showing them off, quote unquote, treating them nice and taking them out on vacations or going to nice fancy restaurants and buying them all these gifts and doing all these things. And it's really only to get that new victim stuck in that relationship and trapped, so that way they are not able to see what's going on, see the abuse, and be able to make an informed decision of leaving. The narcissist does not want that new supply to see that. And so that's why they're doing all that flaunting. And that could cause feelings for you. You may feel a lot of hate and anger, but you definitely want to work through that, which I recommend. If you can, go to a gym and work that off, work out all of that anger and release that working out, or lift weights, or go to go boxing, or maybe you could do some journaling, or in a safe place. Maybe you might want to scream, or you might want to just do something where it's non-threatening, but you can release your anger. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anyway, I hope that that's helpful. And what do you guys think? Have any of you guys reacted in a way where you saw the narcissist with the new supply and it caused you to have a lot of hate, a lot of anger? How was you guys' reaction? I'd love to hear. Let me know what you guys think. And happy Easter again. But yeah, myself, and what I could say, I would say I was angry. I was like really, really angry with the narcissist. And I was like ashamed and I was embarrassed. But the good thing about me is that initially I don't really have an anger problem, which is great. But I would go out and I would like tell like my friends about like what I had saw on social media. And but what I did though, I did yoga and meditation, and I would pray about it, and I would release myself. My emotions would come up to the surface, so I would have to like cry about it, because sometimes they say like when you cry, that's also when you feel angry. You know what I mean? But no, I also had to talk it out as well. I had to talk it out because I couldn't just see that on social media and like not react it, you know what I mean? And not do anything. And it's just like, is this really happening, So, and Gary, you said another good question could be, what if we feel embarrassed by how the narc is acting post discard? If we feel embarrassed, it's normal. And it's okay to feel embarrassed. But just remember that what the narcissist has done to us has nothing, it's not personal. It has nothing to do with who we are as individuals. It doesn't define who we are. And it's not like, it's not the individual person that we are at heart. You know what I mean? So we should, in a sense, we should not internalize that. But for you to feel embarrassed is normal, because you're going to be like, well, I trusted this person. I believed what they were telling me. I believed that we were in a committed relationship. I believe I was the only person that they were talking to. I believe that we were going to, get married and have kids. I believe that. And now they're off dating someone else and I look like a fool. You know what I mean? So it's like that embarrassment happens, and it's okay. And that's actually a part of the post discard. With those feelings that you're feeling, it's a part of the grieving process of the narcissist. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely totally valid. And it makes a lot of sense. A lot of us victims and survivors feel embarrassed. Like, heck, I was embarrassed too myself. Like, I really was. I was ashamed of coming on, sharing my first video. I think this was actually back in 2017, when I made my first video discussing what happened. And I felt humiliated. I did. I really did. And I felt like, well, wow, like, well, what are people going to be thinking of me? They might be like, well, why did I stay for so long? Like, why didn't I just leave? He lied to you one time. So what made you stay? So yeah, it's definitely something that a lot of us victims and survivors, we do go through, but it's normal. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. But the next question is how the narcissist can quote and post about God behavior and have destructive behavior. And this is definitely normal, because I know the narcissist that I dealt with, it's funny because he would post a lot of like, religious posts and positive quotes and, pretty I think it was like a lot of success and like motivational quotes and that type of thing. And yeah, he was super destructive. Super destructive. It's crazy. It's like I think, and it's really about like how other people are perceiving them, not about who they really are on the inside. So a lot of times they're being very deceptive and very cunning, and they are tricking people, into thinking that, oh yeah, like I'm just this, caring and decent and, generous person. And I care about a lot of people and I want to help a lot of people. And yeah, like good positive vibes. And I'm posting about God. I'm posting videos about God and all that stuff. And it's just like, that's not who they are. You know what I mean? And it's so crazy because like, if you don't really know this narcissist, if you're not like a close friend or a family member, like you would never think that they're like that. But it's like the closer you are to this narcissist, like if you're a romantic partner, you will see the real them. You will. But if you're just like somebody that's just looking on the outside, like a subscriber or some sort of fan of the narcissist or whatever, or it could be a stranger, they may think like, oh my God, like they would never do that. They would never abuse you. They would never talk down on you, or they would never betray you, or they would never lie or cheat. That's literally what they would think, and just because of the things that they post and the videos and their image that they portray to the world, but it's something completely different behind closed doors. And I can tell you that was the same thing for my aunt, which actually goes into my next question about how the narcissist is all about their physical appearance and not the internal. But to that question, they are about how they look on the outside and how good it looks on the outside, but on the inside, they are not okay. They are in a lot of fear, a lot of misery, and a lot of pain. And, they have a lot of self-hate and a lot of self-disgust. And it's just like, oh my God, like you would never think that, And please feel free to chime in. Let me know what you guys think. Excuse me. You said, yep, they definitely treat everyone as a fan. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But what's funny though, Gary, is that the people that, like I said, get close to them, they see them for who they are. And that's when they start to get exposed, because some people can, they may speak out and say like, okay, that this is what this person did to me. I know you might not believe me because of how they treated you, or how how credible they are out in the public and all of these things. But trust me, if you get close enough to these people, that mask will come down and you will see the real them. And it's actually pretty scary. I know it was scary for me because I was not expecting that. Like I said, from the male narc and my aunt, like both of them, I was love bombed and tricked into thinking that they cared about me, that they had my best interests at heart, that they wanted the best for me, and that they were supporting me and looking out for me, but really they wasn't. And then when I came to that realization, I was just like, okay, like it was scary. And even like with my aunt too, because I literally like grew up with her. Like when I remember I had a flashback too. Like I remember when I was like a young kid, like I think it was like around Halloween time. And I remember my brother and I, we would go trick-or-treating over her house. And she was just always like this sweet lady. At least that's what I thought growing up. I didn't know that she was like that. But again, it was like on coming from the outside, but actually living with her as I got older, I was just like, all this time I was like, oh, I thought she was just so wholesome and so sweet and so caring. And, but when I lived with her, it was like, no, that was not the case. It was the complete opposite. A lot of like anger and fear she tried to put in me, and always like comparing herself to me, being super competitive with me all the time. And mind you guys, I'm literally like a teenager and she's like a grown adult, married, has children, has a career. And she's sitting up here comparing herself to a teenager. And it's just like, I don't understand, so But anyway, so, and even with my aunt, she was a somatic narcissist. And so she did focus on her physical appearance. And it's funny because I know that there was one time that she actually got surgery on her face because she would always be complaining to me, talking about, oh yeah, my neck is jiggling or whatever. I don't know. She was like super self-conscious of that. And she would always be telling me, also she would tell her husband about it too. But she was like, oh, she was like, look at my neck. And she was like, Joy, yours doesn't do that. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't, because I'm a teenager, you know? And she's just, constantly comparing herself to me. And yeah, it was just weird. And then I totally forgot about this example that I wanted to tell you guys about what my aunt had did to me. So this was around the time when I used to eat meat. And I remember, I know it's kind of off topic, but I just wanted to share this with you guys on how narcissists will abuse their victims. But she was teaching me how to cook because she came in the house because she was frustrated that I guess nobody was cooking, and she would be working all day. And she's like, oh, she wanted to come home to a meal. And so I'm just like, whatever. And at that time, I was like, I think I was like 19 or 20. And it's like, I really wasn't really that good with cooking. It was like I was still trying to learn and figure things out, whatever. So she comes home and she's like, nobody cooked anything. And so she was like, Joy, she was like, I want to teach you how to make some chicken strips. And I was like, okay, like I'm cool with it. But she seemed like she was already frustrated, like she had a bad day. So she was just trying to take her frustrations out on me, And I'll never forget this. Her youngest son was there, and she was, she switched out of her work clothes and she came downstairs and she was like kind of showing me how to cook it. And like I said, I had never cooked the way that she wanted to cook the chicken. I had never known about how to cook it that way. And so I'm thinking, okay, you got to be patient. If you're trying to teach me how to cook this, be patient with me, But I didn't say that, but I'm thinking that she's going to be like this. But anyway, she is attempting to teach me, and I guess I'm not learning as fast as she wants me to. And she was like, cook the chicken, damn it, like that. And I'm like, okay. And then even my younger cousin, he was like, Joy, like, come on, like, cook it. And I'm like, well, what are y'all talking about? How am I supposed to know? Like, she has a way that she wants me to cook this, but I have never done this. So like, why are you getting mad at me? So I know that was like random, but I just wanted to give you guys another example of how, narcissists are super abusive and emotionally, mentally, and verbally controlling, and they try to put you down and make you feel less than. So anyway, but going back to their physical appearance, yeah, they're totally focused on physical appearance. Looks are super important, especially to the somatic narcissist. That's the only thing that they care about. They care about your looks. And if you, I guess, are not looking good in their opinion, they're like, oh, you need to fix this, or you look better this way, or you need to lose weight. And that's the other thing, the male narcissist, he would actually tell me, and you guys, I think I have a pretty decent figure for the most part. And I constantly work out for, but the narcissist would always be like, oh, you need to lose some weight. He was like, oh, are you going to the gym or something like that? Just kind of putting it out there like, oh, that I wasn't looking, I guess, up to his, standards or whatever. And, that did kind of get to me before, but I think just in general, I have always tried to work out just because of how I grew. I kind of grew up in a house where my dad raised me, and my dad, he didn't cook meals. We was kind of eating out, And so I did gain weight. And you guys tell me what y'all think. Has the narcissist ever made fun of your weight or anything like that? Whether it was a relationship or a parent. But so as I grew, I had to kind of learn, to work out and, be fit. Because even when I was younger, like growing up with my dad and stuff, it was like, eating out at McDonald's every day and Burger King, it's like, it's not healthy. And, but luckily I did learn how to cook and do all those things now. But But I don't actually eat meat to this day. I am a pescatarian, actually trying to go full vegetarian. So, but anyway, I know that was kind of a little off. Gary, you said they love their gym selfies. It gets annoying after. Yeah, some people like to take selfies of them at the gym. I know, like when I used to go to 24-hour fitness, I wouldn't take selfies all the time. I would just really be focused on like the process of like losing weight, because just me in general, I like working out. I like doing yoga, which yoga is a part of the physically working out. And I don't know, it just makes me feel better. It helps calm my mind, and I just feel better in general. So this actually, we're gonna get to the bullying part because what I just said kind of relates to that. But yeah, narcissists are not. They don't focus on the inside. They're super external. They're super materialistic. They only care about like, personal gains and monetary gains, how you can benefit them in any way. And they look down on other people that I guess in their mind have less than them. And they just treat them differently. And yeah, it's just horrible. It's like not a good feeling. So sorry. So yeah, the next question was, on occasion, a narcissist will ruin it and making it about themselves. So like, let's say, you want to talk to the narcissist about something that's important for you, or something like you really need this person to listen to you. And thank y'all for that. Like, or maybe it could be like a holiday or something like Easter, right? And some way, somehow, the narcissist will turn around and make it about themselves. So the narcissist is not listening to you. They're not focused on what you have to say, how you're feeling, if you're concerned, or if you're hurting, or you just need a listening ear if you need support. The narcissist does not care about that at all. They only care about themselves and how it can benefit them and how it's going to make them look good. And that's really sad. It's really sad. But if this is you, if you're in this scenario, just understand that this person is super selfish and they're not going to change. And Terrence Dukes, oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. But yeah, narcissists like to ruin holidays. I don't know if you guys watched, I think it was like 2 videos I talked about how narcissists will ruin a birthday, a holiday, any special occasion, whether it's like a wedding, an anniversary, whatever, a vacation trip, they will ruin that. A graduation, a baby shower, or even, I know this is like super random, but even if it's like something that's not so good, but like even a funeral or something, God forbid, but they will ruin that. They will make it about them, flip it so that there's drama and chaos and confusion going on, and turn it around on them, right? So you do want to be careful of that. Now, I do wanted to tell you guys this example. Now, I don't think I ever shared this. So I remember it was my birthday one year. I think it was when I had turned 25 or 26 or something like that. And you guys, so I had already moved away from my aunt. I moved out of her house, and I was doing my own thing, and I was happy, right? And I guess she could like kind of hear it in my voice. She could hear that, things were going well for me. And she was like, "Oh, Joy, like, what are you doing for your birthday? Let's celebrate." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like, cool. Let's do something." Right. And so I remember I think I was living in Long Beach at the time. I drove to Orange County, met up with my aunt at her house, and then her husband was there. And I think they ended up going to an Italian restaurant. And mind you, I don't know, I felt like something was off because, although it was my birthday, she did pick the restaurant. I think, yes, she did pick it, I think. But that's besides the point. But anyway, so we went into the restaurant, and, she was just asking me questions and talking to me and stuff like that. And it was cool. It seemed like she was kind of interrogating me. She was trying to like find something to put me down and try to make me feel like less than and, like worthless or whatever. like to try to build herself up, which a lot of narcissists do because a lot of them are miserable anyway. And so, I think we had ordered our meal, and then they was like, oh, it's her birthday. And then they were like, oh, so what do you want for your birthday? And I was thinking like, oh, like a cake would be cool or whatever. Cause that was like what she would do. She would like make me a cake every year. But that was like when I was living with her, but I moved out. So anyway, so I think I ended up getting like a cheesecake. I thought they was going to bring me like a whole cake, but they ended up bringing me a slice of cheesecake, which was like, okay, whatever. And then my aunt ended up saying like, oh, I hope we didn't ruin your birthday. And I'm like, no, you didn't. But the whole point is that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to ruin my birthday. And I just think that's really sick. And I think that that's sad that was really her intentions. And then I was like saying, even after the fact, I was like, oh, I can't believe I'm turning 25. I can't believe I'm turning, I was either 25 or 26, one of those ages. But yeah, she was like, and she's like, oh, you're getting old and this and this and that. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't know. It was just like, she wasn't really like happy for me. It was just very negative and like down, like a deadbeat downer kind of thing. And so, I don't know, it was just weird. And I did feel like my aunt wanted me to move back in with her because again, she lost her control over me, and narcissists are all about control. So, but yeah, that was just another little side story I wanted to share with you guys of how narcissists will be and how they try to ruin your birthday or ruin special occasions or holidays or things that make you happy. And this is because narcissists usually don't experience happiness. They don't experience joy. And if you're feeling that way, then they don't like that. And they're going to want to make you feel how they feel. As simple as that, so yeah, you guys. And then so I guess that kind of leads me to my next point. And you guys, please feel free, share what your experiences has been when it comes to narcissists, dating in relationships or with parents, or has a narcissist tried to ruin a holiday for you or a special occasion? How did that make you guys feel? And did you react, or what was the response? But I didn't even know, you guys, at the time, like, in a sense, I wasn't even reacting. And it was like, my aunt was trying to get me to react. And I didn't realize that was like, she was fishing for, she wanted me to do something, right? She was fishing for that supply. And it's like, I wasn't giving it to her. So she was getting like frustrated. And she was like, oh, how can I make her upset? So, and I think they really like to get you upset, especially like on your birthday. That makes them happy. It's really, really sad. But that leads me to my next point, you guys, talking about parents that are bullies. Do any of you guys have parents that are bullies? Doesn't that suck? That is like super horrible. Like, why would your parent be a bully? If you have a narcissistic parent, that parent most likely is a bully. They probably try to push you around, put you down, make you feel hopeless and worthless, make you have a low self-esteem, make you have low confidence, make you feel like you're never going to be anything in life, make you feel like, oh, why are you born? If you have like any aspirations or dreams, they're like, oh, you can't do that. You don't have that experience. What makes you think you can do that? So that's how a lot of narcissistic parents are. If you are dealing with a narcissistic parent that's a bully, you do have to understand that this parent's not going to change. This parent probably got bullied, and they never got the help. And a lot of them just don't care. They're just like, well, if I didn't live my dream, then you're not going to live your dream. You know what I mean? So that's just thinking about that just makes me cringe. Oh my God. Gary, you said they have kids for the wrong reason. Yeah, a lot of them could have kids because they think that having a kid with that person is going to make them stay in that relationship. And then also they have kids because it's an extension of themselves. So that kid is not to be seen, heard, or that kid can't speak up for themselves. They have to be like another narcissist. They have to be like a flying monkey or an extension of the actual narcissist, so that kid cannot have their own opinion. They can't have their own beliefs. They have to fall in line with the narcissist. It's almost like being in a narcissistic cult, or just a cult in general, where everybody thinks the same way, has the same mindset. You can't have your individuality. It's not acceptable. You have to listen to that maternal figure or that paternal figure. And it's super, like, you feel like you're trapped, like just stuck, you know what I mean? And it's unfair. It's like you should have the right to have your own, like, you should be yourself, like, have your own mind and think for yourself and make decisions for yourself. And you shouldn't have to, like, always, like, see if the narcissist likes it or get approval from the narcissist or confirm with the narcissist about what you should do. It's like, no, like, but that happens, and it's really sad. It really is. And I guess I'm thinking back to my aunt, which I feel like what made her frustrated with me is that I did have my own mind, and I thought for myself, and she wanted me to go down a certain path in my life. And the fact that I didn't, I think that made her angry, and she would rage at me a lot. And I didn't even realize what was happening. I was thinking like, oh, well, did she have a bad day at work? Or, it's like, did her husband say something to her, which their relationship, he loved her. Like, and I think the last time that I was there, well, they were married for like 30 something years, and he was not going anywhere. Like, I remember, like, when they would get into fights and arguments, like, I think he would either walk out of the house and she would, like, slam the door, or he would just, because they would sleep in two different rooms, you guys. That's how it was, because she said that he would snore a lot, which, I mean, I did hear him a couple of times. He was a loud snorer, but he slept in his own room. And but yeah, when they got into fighting arguments, he would walk out, or you know what she would do? She would actually go on vacation and leave him at the house. So I guess that was the punishment for him. So, but anyway, if your parent is a bully, you do want to make sure that you distance yourself from this parent. I also think that what is good is creating boundaries if you're able to, because I know you might be like a little afraid, because it's like, okay, I'm dependent on this person for a lot. So, I mean, you do want to be careful about how you handle this. You know what I mean? Try not to react, and, stand up for yourself without being disrespectful, because hey, it's your parents. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you're an individual as well, and you deserve respect. And you shouldn't, even if it's your parent, don't allow them to talk to you in a way that, it's unacceptable to you, Gary, you said what's funny is that they portray to be perfect couple on social media. That's happens a lot now, and man, it does. It does. Absolutely. And no couple is perfect. That's a for sure thing. There's always ups and downs and things that occur within a relationship. And I think what is key is when you are having those disagreements or those conflicts or things come up, is you can either agree to disagree, or you can decide, okay, well, it's not like some way, somehow you can collab with each other or come to some sort of compromise and understand, like, okay, you may feel this way about the situation. I feel this way. Let's just kind of dissolve it, and let's work on having better communication. You know what I mean? And let's be honest with each other. Let's be open with one another, but let's not hold secrets from each other. Let's not, have other people involved in our relationship. You know what I mean? Let's think for ourselves and think about what's best for us as a couple, But yeah, no, my aunt, she would portray like everything was okay. Everything was okay, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And it was sad. It really was. And I think I told you guys this before. Her oldest son, I remember one time my aunt and uncle, they got into an argument. She slammed the door, her bedroom door, and he slammed the the front door, and I was thinking like, oh my God, like I gotta get out of here, because she was always like passive aggressive towards me and like super sarcastic and that type of thing. And my oldest, well, her oldest son, he was like, Joy, yeah, he was like, you got to move out. I was like, yeah, I'm working on it. And that was the other thing, is that at the time, I think I had took on, was it 2 jobs I took on at the time? And I didn't even know that, like, in a sense, I had kind of gotten used to it. But what really helped me to move out of my aunt's house was because I was going to this college that was about 30 minutes away from where my aunt stayed. And I told myself, because if any of you guys ever been to California, the traffic is crazy, like jam-packed. You literally be sitting in the same spot for like 15, 20 minutes, not moving anywhere, And so I was like, okay, if I could have a better commute, then I would do that. I personally would prefer to live somewhere closer to the campus, which was like, it would have been better for me. But where my aunt had lived, I was like 30 minutes away from the school. But where I had moved to, I think I was only like 5 or 10 minutes. So that was better. And I didn't even know that I was like trying to get out of that situation. But luckily I was able to get out. And even before I left, my aunt was like, are you sure you want to leave? Are you sure that, you're going to have to pay your own rent? You're going to have to pay your own phone bill now, and another thing I wanted to tell you guys about my aunt is, even when I was showing signs of like wanting to better myself and improve my life, you guys know what she would tell me? She'd be like, oh, turn that off. Like, you don't know what that is. That's something they're trying to like program your mind. And what was she saying? Like, mind trick you. It looks like a scam. Like, and you guys know what I was watching? I was watching Bob Proctor. I was watching Les Brown. Like, these are not people that are trying to mind trick you and to scam you. Like, these are people that, I think Bob Proctor ended up passing away. Rest in peace to him. But like, these are people that are trying to, help you empower yourself and make you grow yourself and motivate yourself. But that's what my aunt was telling me, like, oh, turn that off. Like, you don't even know what that is all about. And even my uncle, he was kind of like looking at me and like laughing. And I'm just like, really? And Gary, you said it can be hard to save money because they expect us to help with bills and stuff. No, I definitely get that. But I think what's good is that like you have like a little budget for yourself, and just say, okay, I'm gonna save maybe, who knows, $50 or something every month or every 2 weeks or whatever. But have you a little stash, and just try to save if you can, or take up another gig. Do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Or sell some things. Like, if you have like items that you don't want or whatever, like computers or gadgets or whatever, a laptop or something, like, try to do whatever you need to do, and to save, because trust and believe, you're going to be a lot happier. Because I know myself, I was so happy once I got away from my aunt, and I didn't even realize like all that time I was being abused like that. I didn't even know what I was dealing with, even while living with her. I just knew something was wrong, and I knew that I wasn't allowed to be myself. And I couldn't express my emotions and my feelings, and I felt alone a lot, although I did have my older cousin. But at first, when I moved in with my aunt, he was living a couple miles away. But then over time, he ended up moving back in with her. But that was what my aunt, her plan was, to get me to move back in with her. That was her whole goal, but it didn't work. And so that's why she was really upset. And so, but yeah, and then, and as I said, finding ways of being independent. And as I said, don't tolerate, mistreatment from others. And but yeah, so and then my last topic, you guys, I just wanted to talk about dealing with loneliness after narcissistic abuse. I'm sure a lot of you guys may have felt this way, or you could be feeling this way now. Maybe you haven't even dealt with a narcissist, but maybe you could just be feeling lonely. And I can tell you guys, I know that I did. I'm just saying. This was years ago though, and it was a struggle. It really was, because I literally was by myself. You know what I mean? And so what I did was I had to connect with my creator, with my God. And I talked a lot to God about how I was feeling, what I was going through. And I do recommend journaling, even if you are feeling lonely. Also, you can reach out to online groups, whether it's a group meetup or if it's a support group, so you feel less lonely. I know myself, I did reach out to, I think she was like a counselor, and I talked to her for a year, which was great. And so that did help. And then also I think it was like, how many times out of the week? I think it was 2 or 3 times out of the week I would go to yoga. So I would practice yoga outside, which was awesome. So I got to connect with other people that loved yoga, and I'm sure they might have been going through something. So that was super helpful. And also, just talking to like one of my really, really good friends to this day, you guys, she's like super sweet, super genuine. And I've been friends with her for almost 10 years, and she's still in California actually. And give this video a like, you guys. Let me know, what do you guys think? How do you guys deal with loneliness? And is that something that you're currently struggling with? Let me know. I love to hear it. But the other thing is, if you're dealing with that now, try not to compare yourself to other people. I know that can be hard, but with social media, you have all of that. And hi, Delicate, how are you? Hi. So yeah, but no, and then the other thing that helped me, you guys, is I did start to I started to focus on the present moment. I got clear, so that the meditation helped. And I started to think about like what I wanted to do with my life. And I do remember asking God, I was like, God, what is my life purpose? I remember one time, I think I was in the middle, what was I doing? I think I was singing or something like that, just something random. And then I also remember, I don't know if it was earlier that day, if I was crying or something, but I was like, God, like, what do you want me to do with my life? Like, what is my life purpose? Like, why was I born? Because you guys know, if you have been a victim of narcissistic abuse, you do feel a lot of pain. You do feel a lot of agony. There is shame, there's guilt, there's remorse, there's regret. All of that's there. And I just remember just kind of just talking to God, and he didn't answer right away, but of course it took time. But I did feel a sense, I felt my creator's energy. I did. You know what I mean? So that was really, really helpful. And, but yeah, so that's one of the things that I would say, connect to your God. And also another thing you can do is volunteer. You can try and volunteer, give back in any way that you can. And I think the other thing is, in a sense, it's like taking the focus, you want to focus on yourself, right? Have your hobbies, have your goals, try a new activity, travel, go for a walk, whatever. But then you also want to focus on others as well, right? So if you have any message or any awareness or anything that you have gone through, maybe by you sharing that story, it can help someone else. And then you almost, in a sense, you kind of forget about that loneliness that you was feeling. You know what I mean? But on the flip side, again, it's like, when you have a life purpose, when you have something that you're passionate about, then that's when you kind of forget about the loneliness, But just in general, I would say that it's easy to feel loneliness, especially sometimes if you're single, or maybe if you live by yourself, you could be like, oh, I feel lonely, but you're really not. You're really not. physically you might be, but it's like there's always people out there that could be in a similar situation, or there's always someone that you can call and talk to. You can talk to your creator, like I said. So, your God and your angels, and there's always something that you can be doing to improve your life. Like, another thing, you can read a book. It can kind of help with loneliness. Make yourself something to eat. Maybe take a nap. Just thinking of like practical things, exercise, move your body. But yeah, that's basically the video, you guys. I hope that this was helpful. I know this was a little bit longer than usual, but yeah, I just want to just give those that's watching hope and understand that if you're dealing with a narcissistic partner, or you're in a relationship with a narcissist, or maybe this is a parent or anything, like it's gonna be all right. It is, and it's gonna get better, but it's gonna take time. And if you stick to the process, if you stick to doing your routine, your everyday things that you do to help with coping after narcissistic abuse, trust me, it's going to get better, because it did get better for me, but I had to go through my usual, what I did, and I could tell you guys real quick what I would do while I was in the recovery process of healing. I remember I would wake up every day, you guys. I'm so embarrassed. But I would wake up every day and I would literally cry for 6 months. I remember I would wake up, I'd be on my bed, and as soon as I opened my eyes, and I just started crying, because I just felt so sad. I felt so humiliated, and I couldn't believe it, but as I said, just doing my daily routine, talking to the counselor, and doing my yoga, taking care of myself, grieving, and praying and talking to God. That really, really, really did help, right? And reading books that was that related to what I was going through, So anyway, you guys, I hope that was helpful, and I hope that this can help you. You're not alone, just so you know, you're not. And if your parent is a bully, don't put up with that. It doesn't matter. Yes, we love and respect our parents, but you shouldn't accept that. And yeah, narcissists will try to ruin you, but don't let them. All right, you guys, I will see you in the next video. Take care. Give this video a like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys. Oh, and last thing, you guys, as I mentioned, my new course did come out, Empath's Survival Guide to Dating After Narcissistic Abuse. If you're an empath and you want to learn more about that, definitely check that out. I'm going to link it below. But basically, some of the things that I did talk about in the course, just in case if you're wondering, like, what exactly is in the course. Basically, I talk about what an empath is, how to recognize it, and how to cope with it on a daily basis. How do you care and protect yourself and protecting your energy, which is another thing you actually want to do when it comes to a bullying parent, because a lot of these narcissistic parents are emotional vampires, right? And they want to suck you dry. They want to suck your energy, right? And leave you emotionally drained. But the other thing is in this course, I talk about red flags and people to avoid if you are an empath. So that way you will spend less time on the wrong person and focus more time on the right person, right? And then also I talk about managing flashbacks and managing triggers as an empath, and other types of forms of dating that is an option for those of you that are ready to date, because I understand some people may not be ready to date, and that's totally fine, right? But I also talk about handling conflicts, being assertive, having your boundaries in relationships and also with others. And I do talk about picking and finding a better person for yourself. But anyway, you guys, if that is helpful on your journey to healing and recovery, let me know. Reach out to me. You can send me an email at livenarcfree9@gmail.com. You can visit my website, www.livenarcfree.com. So yeah, let me know what did you guys learn from this video? What was your takeaway? And yeah, okay, you guys. I'll see you in the next video and take care.